Hello! So today is Cooper's last day school day in this package. I wanted to film a recap of everything we've done and give you a visual that you guys can always refer back to. You're also going to get a packet when you pick them up today that will have basically everything written out in a nice written word packet type thing. That way you have a resource, so whether it's a video or whether it's something you want to read, both are going to pretty much cover the same things. There's some nuances in both, but as much information I can give you as possible. So Mr. Cooper here really has done very well in coming into his age and also coming into the expectations of training. He really has accelerated. When I want his attention, sitting and looking is the new default. He has done phenomenal with this. And you guys, I can tell that you've been working with this at home because this is awesome. So to start, name game is a command where we load his name in and of itself as a leave it, a recall, and pay attention command. It's an all-purpose, hey, focus. So how I like to teach it is you're going to purposely walk away from him, or you're in another room from him. I'm going to toss a treat so he's distracted. So I'm going to stand still. I'm going to say, Cooper! Now, if he gets stuck, you can use your hand to lure him into a sit. I'm not going to tell him that. When he gives you eye contact, yes, good boy. You can give him a treat, walk away, do it again. Cooper! Now, if he gets stuck, like he's staring at me, I'm going to use a negative marker. Negative marker is telling him, you didn't do it right. So, Yes. Yes is your positive marker. Think of your negative and positive marker as like bumpers when you go bowling. They help you stay on the right path. So if I say, Cooper, you can make some kissing noises, but he's right behind me. He's like, dude, I'm staring at you. So I'm going to tell him, I'm going to reset, go to a new spot. Cooper! Yes. And he's not looking at the treat. He's actually looking at my eyes. You want to make eye contact. And then as soon as we give a yes, I walk away. Like, okay, cool. I can do something else. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out process of training. It's just a quick check-in. Yes, go boy. Now, leave it is another command that we've really worked on. Leave it is going to be your overall general disengagement. So treats, toys, birds, dogs, people, it doesn't matter. And it can be in his mouth or out of his mouth. Leave it as a hard pause, stop what you're doing and check in with me. Now, the key to leave it is doing something else instead. So it's stop this, do this instead. So a couple ways that you can practice this. First way is the traditional way. You have a treat, you have him on a leash. I'm going to show him the treat. He's really excited. I'm going to toss it behind me, tell him leave it, I step in front of it. He has to sit and look. Cooper. Yes, okay. Okay is going to be release command of now we can do the thing that we want to do. So when you're working this, you can do the traditional model of toss it, leave it, and you step in front of it. He has to sit, and then, okay, he can get it. Now, if you don't want him to have it, you don't say, okay. You say, good boy, or yes, and then walk away from that object he wants. You can also do leave it with toys. Whoop. So if you're going to do toy play with him, you want it? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, let's get your foot not stuck. Careful, kid. Let me take this off real quick. Here. Go get it! So play disengagement is teaching him leave it. It's teaching that pause command while his body is accelerated. So when he's in that heightened state. A lot of times dogs get dopamine hits. They're like adrenaline junkies. So we have to teach them. Good boy, Cooper. We have to teach them how to basically use their frontal lobes, which they don't have as like we do, to stop what they're doing and chill out. So when he's being crazy dog, and you can purposely get him crazy, right? And I'm going to say, Cooper. Yes. Okay. You can go right back to being crazy with him. You can go right back to being a goofy boxer. But the moment you say Cooper, it's disengagement. It's time to stop. One of the best ways to do this is tug. One, it protects your hands, but two, you can practice him getting really riled. So rally, rah, 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 right? I'm going to say, Cooper. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then you can go back to it, and then you can do it again. You go back to it, you can do it again. It's all about pause. I need you to pay attention. This right here, play disengagement, is going to teach him when he's doing leash work. When he's barking on the leash, his body is pretty much in the same state when you're playing. And you're going to tell him, leave it, come on, let's go. Good boy. So whether it's let's go, we're walking, or it's I need you to sit. Good boy. It's I need you to do something else instead. We've also been working on a place command. Place is a durations command, similar to wait or stay. I only teach one. Most trainers will teach you 3. My philosophy is make it as simple as possible. So I like to teach them on a cot first to teach the behavior as expected. Come on, place. Ooper. I like to teach them on it so that they learn dog island. Think of it like a floating island that they are stuck on and they're safe on. If he does what he just did with me, I'm gonna sit right here. I'm good right here. This is where you can put a leash on. You can lure him on with a treat. Sit, place. Now, I like place as a flat hand. Sometimes if you have something in your hands, it's like a couple fingers. The idea is place, and then you can walk away. And if he pops off, you're going to use that negative marker. Come on. I love when dogs misbehave and I film it because it's a practical application. Dogs don't listen to me either all the time, even if we've done this 20, 30, 50 times. Cooper, come on. Sit, place. So can you unload the dishwasher and he's on a place cot? And then when you're ready to be done, Cooper, okay. Then he gets to have it. We use the treat as almost like you're rolling it off so that it's in motion. The release is motion, the command is hold. It helps reinforce, good boy, it helps reinforce, hey, this is the expectation. Sit, place. Now you can also use place as with a leave it. So he's on a place, leave it. Get that toe up there, good boy. Good. Now this is the teenager. This is the teenager going, but can I have just one paw? Can I just have one toe off? Good boy. Okay. Can I push the boundaries? A lot of times dogs will listen to the letter of the law. So, especially for his age range, he is going to push you on this. The more that you practice little increments, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, unloading the dishwasher, bringing groceries in, watching TV, doing something on your phone, the better he's going to be with us. Now, you don't always have to have a place cot. Place cot just helps teach them. This can go anywhere. The rock, the bench, the couch ottoman, the rug, this invisible line on your kitchen floor. The idea behind this is it's Cooper, sit, place. He can't move. Okay. Until you give him that okay. Until he's learned, yes, I can do it. Now, one thing that can help is I like to do a hand motion, like it's almost like a theatrical bow, just meaning, hey, now you can go. Have fun with doing place. Have fun doing place with leave it. Have fun teasing him with the ball while he's in place. Come here, Coop. Come here, good boy. Sit. No. Leave it. Oh, place. Leave it. And bouncing the ball, he's not jumping up. Leave it. Oh no, I dropped it. Oh no, that's my fault. So that's human error, but that's also where if he didn't go for it, he really understands it. Place. Leave it. Can I bounce it? Nope. Sit. Place. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. He's a little more wiggly than I would like. That's also where if we had a little bit more time, we could really reinforce this with him. But this is something you can do at home when you're playing with him. You ask him for a sit, you tell him place, you tell him leave it. But I'm bouncing a ball a foot away from his face. Okay, go get it. And he's not jumping off of it. Now, I did have to correct him a couple times, but that's where you think of it, rule of 3. If you hit 3 failures, go back to the easiest form, off you go. If you haven't hit 3, you can keep going. He's a smart dog. Usually 2 corrections, he's like, oh, right, sorry, this is what we're doing. That's good boy. Leave it in place are the commands that I tell every teenage dog owner from 6 months to a year and a half. You're going to use those the absolute most. That and yes and to be frank. But how can you integrate them in your day-to-day? You're taking a phone call. Can you ask him for a sit place? You are playing fetch with him. Can you ask him for a sit and even ask him for a touch? Now, touch is a body focus command. It's nose to palm. Think of it like a boop. So boop or touch. I know I've never used boop on you. Sorry, kid. Touch. Yes, go boy. It's a great tool for when he flat out doesn't want to sit, doesn't want to do anything. Sometimes if you ask them for that touch, they're like, oh, hey. It's a good focuser. Now, you can use the ball as a reward. You can also use treats as the reward. For the ball, he has to do a couple commands before, okay, now you can get it. Now, I also use the ball to trigger his jumping. The face he just gave me, oh, why? So I will mess the ball up and down. You can kind of see his head bobbling. I'll do this. And you saw him kind of jump up on me a little bit. He knows. He does not get this unless he's sitting. And as soon as he's sitting, then the ball gets to be thrown. So it's practicing impulse. Impulse is the name of the game for the next 3 to 6 months with him. But place and leave it will help reinforce that. Now, we also taught a recall command, which is, again, the foundational of that is his name game. But that's where, let me toss a treat so he's distracted. So if I'm over here and I say, Cooper, come! Yeah, let's go, boy! Where you going, dude? You're showing your, hey, no. Yes, good boy. I mean, that's probably pretty realistic. I have peanut butter over there for his graduation picture. But you're going to say, Cooper, come! And he's supposed to run like this and sit in front of you. This is what we want. Yes! Come is a celebratory command. Even if you're so angry at him because he got out of the house and he ate through the trash and whatever, you have to be, yes, that's a good boy, oh my goodness. Because he feeds off of your energy. He feeds off the excitement. He's like, hey, what did I do? What's going on? You got to get him to focus with you. The other part of this that we've talked about is leash work. We're going to meet on Tuesday to reinforce it. Quick recap. I like slip leads. We can definitely do a harness, but it's all about tension and release. We have it up high on his neck, right behind his head. This little leather notch helps hold it in place. It's going to slip a little bit. That's normal. We just don't want it underneath where his trachea is. As you walk, you're going to have one hand be your anchor hand. I like to put it on your thumb so that way your fingers can hold. Whichever side he's on is your talking hand. So as you're walking, you can have it just with your anchor. But if you want him to pay attention or give him a correction, that's where this hand can give him a little tap, tap. Good boy. You can also do redirections by walking backwards when he's paying attention to you. That's when you can start moving forwards again. So you're not always having to do circles. Yes, good boy. I know. You hear the other dogs, buddy. I know. Good boy. But we also want to keep our hands nice and low. His right as a dog is to walk right here. It's a privilege to be out here or over here. It's a privilege to get to go sniff. A lot of times we as humans like to be like, oh, they must sniff. That's being a dog. No, structured walks is the right of the dog. Knowing how to walk and when to walk. So all the hikes that you're going to do and that you love doing, phenomenal to do with him. He's definitely the breed for it. But it's teaching him when you're walking, we're going. He doesn't get to sniff unless his head naturally dips down and he sniffs fast enough, whatever your pace you're going, and he doesn't break your pace, that's okay. Good boy. But when we're walking, we're walking. It's on the go. I like to use with me or let's go as kind of verbal pay attentions. They're not hardcore commands like a heel, but this essentially is a modified heel where they have to walk right next to you and walk with looseness on the leash. Doesn't matter if it's a 4 foot, 6 foot, 30 foot, there's no tension on here. We don't want that. Dogs get very used to, this tension means I get to get closer to it. This tension is part of my walk. They get used to the tension and uncomfortability, and then they push harder so they can go faster. What we really want to teach them is that when there's tension, it's, hey, you need to pay attention. So there should always be some looseness. And that's where it's the communication between the two of you that we'll refine in person. He is a sweet dog. You really have a beautiful dog. And he's a smart kid too. Sometimes it may seem like there's nothing in there, but he really understands his core behaviors. It's just about repetition and practice and building up that outlet for what he needs to do. Replace the negative behavior with the good, positive behavior. It has been a pleasure, and it's been lovely getting to know you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm here for you moving forward. So whether you want to do another round of day school, it's privates, or anything else, happy to help.